The Amazon Synod is quickly approaching, and I haven't talked about this yet, so now I figured it would be a great time to do so. I wanted to throw some articles down below for your reference. So as many of you already know, the Amazon Synod is about a group of people in the Amazon who I guess the Vatican sees a need to evangelize to. If you read the Synod Working Document Instrumentum Laboris and the Synod Preparatory Document, you will see like a lot of sociological discussion, but it's not even really sociology that they're talking about, because it's more of like justifying that they're good people. You know, these people worship the earth and they see the importance of preserving the environment. Taylor Marshall and Timothy Gordon call this eco-theology. Now, I think the big controversy about the Amazon Synod comes from the discussion of married priests and female deacons. And it doesn't come outright and say this in the documents, but it alludes to it in just small certain points. But there was actually a secret meeting that took place to talk about the Amazon Synod, and a lot of the participants were German bishops. You can see a few articles on that in the list of the actual participants of the meeting. So I had a really hard time reading through like the preparatory documents of the Synod, just because the language was so flowery and favorable towards the Amazon people, as opposed to just being objective and maybe direct in the mission of evangelization. I did notice one statement that said that the church is a Samaritan church, like we are a Samaritan church. And I'm like, I don't really understand what that means. So I looked at the reference, and it was from a Aparecida document in 2007. It was by the Conference of South American Bishops. And the author of that document was Cardinal Bergoglio. He wrote the document, and he referenced it in the Amazon Synod preparatory document. So the Aparecida document actually makes a lot of references to liberation theology, which is, I guess, that has some Marxist elements. Marxist meaning communist elements. So there's that. But then getting back to the Samaritan church, I still didn't understand what it meant, because it referenced the part of Luke's gospel where Jesus gave the parable of the Good Samaritan. The Samaritan helps the Jew, not the other way around. So I don't really know if it just means that we should help other religions, which, yeah, that's fine. But then at the same time, we should try to still evangelize. Samaritan church, just a weird term. That was just one thing I noticed. So then German cardinals Mueller and Cardinal Mueller spoke out strongly against this discussion of married priests and female deacons. Cardinal Mueller calls the documents heretical, and Cardinal Mueller actually made a few statements on this. He eventually came around to say that even if a pope declared ex cathedra, like infallibly, that female deacons were allowed in the church, that would be false teaching. So Taylor Marshall and Timothy Gordon in a recent video speculated that he might know something that we don't. They seem to think that it's highly unlikely that a pope would do this, declare infallibly that female deacons are allowed in the church. But I mean, it certainly increases the concern that everyone is having about the Amazon Synod. Like, does Cardinal Mueller actually know something we don't? And that remains to be seen. We'll find out. This brings me into my thoughts on Cardinal Mueller. So if you look at his history, he was named a cardinal by Pope Francis. So he's a Francis cardinal. And recently he's been speaking out really strongly against some of the statements the Pope has made. It seems like cardinals who are named cardinal by a specific pope have sort of a loyalty to that pope. But this guy, Cardinal Mueller, but he's really starting to speak out against some of these confusing statements that the Pope has been making. So the Pope gave Cardinal Mueller a position in the Vatican, and then he replaced him, I think in 2017, with someone else. So Cardinal Mueller lost his job in the Vatican, so he's probably a little bit disgruntled from that. And I guess he sees that he has nothing else to lose, so now he's speaking up for the truth. And I just wonder if there will be more cardinals like Mueller who were named by Francis who might start speaking out against this statements that the Pope is making. And that's the thing. People are saying we need a new Pope. I'm saying, like, be careful what you wish for, but then at the same time, if you're going to get someone like Cardinal Mueller who realizes, hey, this stuff is really concerning, maybe things can turn around pretty quickly. Not that I'm expecting that, but there's always that chance, and Cardinal Mueller is proof of that. Now, the last point I want to make, and to connect this all together, I saw an article on the National Catholic Register that said that the funding for the Amazon Synod is coming from 2 German relief agencies. One of these German relief agencies is called Adveniat, and its president is Bishop Franz Joseph Overbeck. Now, Bishop Overbeck made this statement recently that after the Amazon Synod, the church will go to a point of no return, and nothing will be the same as it was. He was involved in the secret meeting, the pre-synod secret meeting of the corruption network involving many German bishops. So really, if you're looking at the Amazon Synod and the agenda on it, you need to look no further than the trail of money, and you're going to find out exactly what you need to know. Money talks, and it's going to talk in this Amazon Synod. Taylor Marshall and Timothy Gordon did a few videos on the Amazon Synod, and they're a lot longer than this video, but they said that they expect this synod to come up with married priests, and then the next synod to come up with female deacons. So it's kind of a gradual erosion of the Catholic doctrine. That's the expectation. Now, if the synod does come up with female deacons and authorizes them, are the people that support that going to be part of a false church? I mean, I did make a video on the Church of Social Justice, but is it going to be like an anti-church? And that's not for me to answer at this point, but I think at this point, like I say a lot of times, we need to really align ourselves with the good bishops and the good priests so that if this stuff, probably more likely when this stuff does come up, we'll be able to kind of follow their guidance and, go where they lead us. So check out the links below. I hope this is a nice summary of a lot of the events that have taken place leading up to the Amazon Synod.